Greetings and welcome, my friends. You have come over to the Synthesizer Side. This is best of the best 3, the Azorius Synthesizer deck, using all the best cards to go along with our Robot Overlord generating factories. It's a little bit of everything: removals, card draw, and of course, synthesizer duplication. This version brings in a couple of cards from the last time we took best of the best for a spin. We've got some excellent ways of finding the factory outlet that generates robot men at ridiculously low prices, as well as a way to get some of our permanents right off the top of our deck and right into play. It's cheating, but it's legalized cheating. We've got the full set of 3 steps ahead, the amazing instant with Spree, so we can hit as many of its options as we want as long as we have the mana. The primary one we're looking to use is the duplication option. Turn 3 synthesizer followed up by a token copy on turn 4 can sometimes be enough to win the game. With enough mana, we do have the ability to counter, as well as use the card draw option. All are useful given the right situation, but using it to make a copy of an artifact is the favorite around here. Not on My Watch is one of my favorite removals. It'll hit any attacker for only 2 mana. The exile is relevant since there are a lot of things that don't like to stay dead, or has a die's ability which we avoid triggering. The majority of our deck is in the 3 slot, so it's nice to have something we can fire off for cheap, and possibly still have mana for something else. Caretaker's talent might seem like an odd include, but it's card draw and a cheap duplication. Only 1 white mana, and we can make a token copy of any token we have on board. We're likely not going to level up the talent to level 3, since our Robot Overlords are generally big enough that they don't need the extra boost. It's worth its weight if we copy a Robot Overlord, but making a copy of a token synthesizer is absolutely amazing. Perilous Snare is a fantastic removal for any opposing permanent. Plus, this removal is an artifact and will trigger any synthesizers we have in play. The swing in our favor this creates on board is sometimes very difficult for opponents to overcome. Unidentified Hovership is another removal that hits opposing men with toughness 5 or less. The abduction is permanent even if the opponent manages to destroy the hovership. If they do, they get to manifest dread as their reward. Being an artifact, it too will trigger any synthesizers we have. The synthesizer is the supreme Robot Overlord generating factory. A lot of our cards are artifacts or ways to copy artifacts, so our robot men will be rather big very quickly. All hail our Robot Overlords. Stock Up is new to the deck. It's a very powerful search card that can help us find a pair of key pieces. There is no restriction on what we get with it, so we can grab lands if we need more mana or removals if the opponent has something we need to have gone. The Helm is the perfect sidekick to the robot generating factory. Every time we generate an artifact token, the Helm will produce a map token as well. The map tokens are a great way to boost Robot Overlord stats, as well as helping us clear out lands from the top of our deck when we have the mana to use them. But the best thing about the Helm is we can use it to create token copies of token artifacts we already have. Ideally, we make more token synthesizers, but if we've made a token snare, we can make copies of it and snipe the opponent's critical permanents. United Battlefront is a new card that can give us an advantage on board if we hit on any of our amazing 3-drops. The great thing about it is, we can use a synthesizer to set up the top of our deck to be sure we hit on something. Plus, we have 4 surveil lands, which can help us improve our chances on hitting something. Steel Seraph is a robot angel that gives one of our men a critical ability at the beginning of our attack step. Most of the time, we'll likely want to give one of our Robot Overlords life link to be able to keep our life total out of range of the opponent, but vigilance and flying are also pretty good abilities. Playing it out for its prototype cost will trigger any synthesizers we have on board. For lands, we're playing 2 the Mycosynth Gardens, the special land we can use to copy any artifact we have in play as long as it's not a token. For Meticulous Archive, the Azorius Surveil land. For Flood Farm Verge, the plains that becomes a dual when we have a plains or island in play. For Adarkar Wastes, the Pain land. Getting the right color mana is worth the pain. For Island. And 6 plains. Playing that can be tricky depending on the starting hand. There are games that will be simple, and we get off to a roaring start, but the majority of games will need time to find our key pieces and set up our board. With a synthesizer on board, we've got a pair of powerful plays at 4 mana, the instant token copy with a 3 steps ahead, or a United Battlefront to help find a pair of cards to generate more Robot Overlords. Stock Up and the talent are a great help when we need to find more ammo. Nothing beats card draw except when you can grab the 2 best cards off the top 5 for only 3 mana. As long as we get a couple of robot overlords, we usually dominate in combat. Our robot men use roids and don't stop until the opponent's head explodes. That's the deck, boys. Let's go play some games.
Do you want to play a game?
This is Alaska, like the airlines? Or the state? Stop yelling, bro. We're kicking things off with a 4-lander that's got double hovership and a synthesizer. As long as we don't keep drawing lands, we should be fine. Keep your pants on. Right off the bat, they hit us with a duress. Maybe we'll be lucky and they'll take a hovership. But they're wise on to our plans and snipe the synthesizer right out of our hand. Well played, bro. Their follow-up play is a bat. We've got a pair of removals, so I'm guessing one of those will be snagged right out of our hand. It's fine, bro, my pants are on. What on earth? They took the Battlefront. Their bat is going to be useless with double removal in hand unless they've got a pair of duress lined up. They play out a slasher, and now it becomes even more clear they should have taken one of our hoverships. Did they oopsie-poopsie in their shorts? Yes, please, Shuffler. We definitely need to keep drawing more lands. It's time for the first hovership to abduct a slasher. The tour starts at 8, don't be late, or you will hate. On the bright side, the Shuffler did give us another land as we requested. More, please. We still need more. It's time for the bat to come aboard for a grand tour by hovership. Take in the sights, enjoy a free trip, and never be seen again. They play out a rather big guy. It could be a problem as we've got 0 removals in hand. It wouldn't have fit on a hovership anyways, its rear end is way too big. Big Booty Judy is jealous of that marvelous hind end. We draw a synthesizer, which is a good start to us being in this game. Thanks to our scry, we can set ourselves up for a good battlefront. On top, we've got a land and a Steel Seraph. We've got too many lands already, so we'll send it on down. We'll end up drawing the Angel, but that's fine as it's not a hit on the battlefront end of things. They are not running out of men, that's for sure. We'll have to hope for an amazing battlefront to bail us out. We're throwing a Hail Mary. Let's see what we can get. There's only 2 cards available, so we'll take them both. On the plus side, one is a talent, and the other is another synthesizer. We'll get a Robot Overlord as well as a card draw. And we can use the talent to make a copy of our first robot. We drew a Not on My Watch, which is amazing. That'll take care of the Big Ugly. On top, we've got another Battlefront, and a 3 steps ahead. These are both cards we want to have. Let's keep them in that order. They play out a second Big Ugly, which makes things complicated. Please don't hurt me, bro. They send it, but we've got our removal at the ready. 1 Big Ugly going down and 1 more to go. We'll block the slasher, and that is a fine trade. We could make plays now, but let's hold on to our 3 steps ahead. We can use it at instant speed to make a synthesizer and draw a pair of cards. They try going for a blood letter, which is a big no-no. That's 1 bat we're not going to have land on board. We have enough mana to counter, as well as make a token copy of one of our synthesizers. Let's swat this thing out of the air like a fly. They swing in and we'll go down to 4, but we've got lethality coming up unless they've got a removal in hand. For 1 mana, we can make a 4th synthesizer, giving us 3 more Robot Overlords. Then we still have the Angel we can play out to guarantee we've got lethal and a little extra. Or we can fire off a Battlefront for even more pain. Our Robot Overlords hit 11-11, and they download brown and scoop it up. GG's, smell you later, bro. This is Nev, as in never ever did I oopsie poopsie. But we know the truth, don't we, boys? Speaking of oopsie poopsie, look what the shuffler gave us. It's a shuffler special with doubles of stock up and 3 steps ahead. We've got a removal if we can draw into a 3rd land, and with a 4th we can make copies of the hovership if we need to. It is risky, but keep your pants on. We draw a 3rd land right away, and we're pretty much out of trouble. They play out a Starscape Cleric, the all-star in our Willow series of decks. They'll likely be on gain and drain, so we're going to want to snipe their Cleric before they get too far with it. Let's not take a bunch of damages just because they've gained a bunch of life. Zora the Explorer is their next play, but that too has got to go. We draw another hovership, and Zora can go explore the inside of our flying saucer for the rest of the game. Get gone, girl. I mean, why not play another one, right? When your hand is all Zora, you up and go Explora. We get our 4th land, and we've got a choice. Keep mana up to make a token copy of one of our hoverships or fire off a stock up, and see if we can get Plan Synthesizer rolling. As much as I like abducting enemy men all day, let's see what we can grab with the stock up. We need to get going with our plan to take over the world with Robot Overlords. That's a battlefront, and we'll take the land as well. We do like being able to get to 5 mana. That's enough to be able to drop a helm and activate it in the same turn. Zora comes in and hits us for 3. We've got time and we've got hovership copies if it comes to that. We draw a synthesizer. The Robot Overlords will be making an appearance this game. Put on some sturdy trousers, bro. Blowouts have been known to happen to our opponents. On top we have a land and a snare. Let's draw the land and we'll get the snare as a bonus when we fire off the battlefront on our next turn. Gotta love the setup. They come in for their hit, but have no other plays. If they've got loads of removals, those are going to come in handy. Our battlefront gets us a talent, as well as the snare we knew about. That's good for one Robot Overlord, and we take out their Zora. She can go explore the inside of the cage we've shoved her in. We charge for cleaning, so don't oopsie poopsie inside it. We could make a copy of our Robot Overlord, but let's wait and use it to make a copy of a token synthesizer once we've fired off a 3 steps ahead. They snipe our first Robot Overlord, but we've got way more where that came from. We draw a second talent, which is excellent, but what we really want to do is make a synthesizer token copy at instant speed. Let's pass the turn, and we'll synthesize it up in here. They activate their man land and send it on in, but we've got our surprise synthesizer to make. We'll copy and get another Robot Overlord, then we can block up. I bet you didn't know Synthesizer was also land destruction. But here we are. On top we have a pair of lands. Let's keep one, that way we can use our talent to make a copy of our token synthesizer, and we'll still have enough mana for 2-3 drops. They snipe our newest Robot Overlord, but they are running out of cards. And we've only begun to synthesize. We draw another synthesizer. We're about to blow their minds. They are outmanned, outgunned, but they do have us beat in the poops and pants department. It smells like GG's extra cheese. This is Star SD. She likes ghosts, mono green, and playing against synthesizers. You've come to the right place, bro. We get a 3-lander with a pair of talents, a removal, and a battlefront. All we need is a 4th land, and we could be in business. Keep. Can you smell what Star is cooking? I can't smell a single thing up in here. There's that fourth land we were looking for. Now all we need is time and opportunity. Star powers out a 3-drop Hydra on turn 2. I would be worried, but my pants are on. If one Battlefront doesn't get the job done, a second one will likely do it. We'll hold up our removal for when they swing in. It's Hydra Tribal apparently. We're Robot Overlord Tribal, so fair is fair. They send it and we'll fire off our removal to snipe the Hydra that grows. Get gone, girl. We draw a Synthesizer, Star's favorite card to see on the other side of the board. We can't disappoint her. She came all this way to be on the big show. On top we have another removal and a hovership. We'll keep them both, and in that order. The Battlefront will get us the saucer when we fire it off on our next turn. They delay our Robot Overlords by sniping our Synthesizer, but we've got ways to dig up the other 3. They play out an aura and attach it to their Hydra. That would have gone great on their other Hydra, that one that's on a vacation on the beaches of Chomp City. Battlefront, you're up. On top we've got a great selection. We'll definitely take a Synthesizer and we'll snag the hovership and use it abduct their Hydra. On top we have a land and a stock up. We've already got some card draw action in hand, as well as another Battlefront to dig up more action. Let's pass on the stock up, but we'll keep the land. Getting to 5 is always nice. Let's play out the talent. We can make a copy of our Robot Overlord. We could crew up the hovership, but they've shown us they've got hasty threats, so we'll keep back a blocker just in case. They play out an ordinary tumblewag, but they should have gone for an extraordinary one instead. Small men are a bad recipe for success when you're facing Robot Overlords. Tell a friend. We get up to 6 mana, and we can lay down a pair of 2 drops. We want the snare down, but let's play out the talent first. That'll give us a pair of cards and a growing advantage over time. Let's get in there with a small squad of Robot Overlords we can press. It looks like they're declining to block, and Stars blows out the seat of her trousers. GG's, only a little bit of cheese. This is Enjoy B, no wait, it's no Joy B, no wait, it's Enjoy B. We get a Shuffler special with double snare, a removal, a helm, and a Steel Seraph. This one could work out, but it easily could not. Mull. Then we get a 3-lander with double stock up, a Battlefront, and a Seraph. This will do, and we can send on down a stock up. Keep your hopes up. Our Surveil land shows us another land on top. We'll keep it. We want to get to 4 on schedule to be able to fire off our Battlefront. Have we drawn mono red for an opponent? There will be crying this game, and maybe some stained shorts. Looks like Boris mono red. They came loaded with hero. And Cheeky Mouse too. The Mouseketeers are strong with this one. Let's fire off our stock up and see if we can pull some ammo out of our deck. I like the hovership here as well as the second Battlefront. Getting 2 permanents down for only 4 mana is always amazing. They rage up, and what's left to see is if they have more pump action, or if that's all they got. Don't spend it all in one place, bro. They hit us with lightning, but my face is sturdy, we can take it. The damages take us down to 10. We'll have to try to avoid taking more hits like those. We draw a not on my watch, which would have been nice to have earlier. Now we have to choose between a battlefront or using the hovership to take down one of their men. Let's abduct their big hero, Get Gone Girl. Where he's going there is no coming back. With 5 mana we can play out the Seraph and have mana up for our removal. Plus the Seraph can help us by giving our men life link, and that will be a huge ability this game. Let's crew up our hovership and get in there. Without any pump on their men, they'll be stalled out. They send in their men, and this is our chance to take out the second hero. Didn't really need that guy, right, bro? Our surveil land shows us a land on top, but we've got plenty for the moment. Let's bin it and hope for something better. This turn is a battlefront turn. We'll fire one off and see what we can dig up. That's a synthesizer for sure, and we'll take the hovership as well. We'll abduct their last guy, and they can eat cake the rest of the game. On top we have a land and a 3 steps ahead. That's an instant synthesizer copy, but we'll ship the land. Let's crew up and we'll send in our Seraph and hovership. With us going to 11 life, it's alright if we don't leave back a blocker for any hasty men they might have. The Mouseketeers have tripped over themselves, that's too bad. It doesn't mean we'll take our foot off the gas. Let's fire off the other battlefront. We'll push for as much damage as possible, and in turn as much life gain as possible. On top we have another synthesizer and a talent. Those are perfect and in that order. Let's turn the opponent into paste. There is no coming back from this position. All the mice in the world can't do it. Robot Overlords will run the table. GG's, synthesizer please. This is Justine Veedable. I'm not sure what that is, but it sounds like it should be something. We get yet another shuffler special. This one is loaded. We've got a copy of our more powerful cards. All we need is a 3rd land to take it home. Keep your pants on. The first play of the game is theirs with a small chicken. If they're on small flying men, they're in for a load of problems. That's not a 3rd land, and if we don't get one soon we'll be in for a load of problems. They play out a doll shop. It's a surefire way to grow a team of men, plus unlocking the other side of it with a small squad in play is a sure way to get ourselves knocked off. Another synthesizer would be great, but not when we need a 3rd land. We've got a bit of time still, but we can't keep missing turn after turn. That is a 3rd land, we can finally start to fight back. Let's play out a synthesizer. On top we have a stock up and another land. We definitely want the land, and the stock up will be useful down the line. No plays for them this turn, only hits. We'll have to see how they handle our robot overlords. We'll play out the second synthesizer and get the ball rolling. On top we have a 3 steps ahead and the stock up from the first synthesizer. We'll take the 3 steps ahead first. They send in only the flyer, and they are 1 mana away from their little men being a problem. Luckily we've got something we can do. We'll play out the hovership and use it abduct their flying chicken. It's the only one that can attack in over our heads, and the only one that can generate doll tokens. Let's send it. Our men are now bigger than theirs even if they manage to unlock the porcelain gallery. They choose not to block and take the hit to the face. Damages, bro, damages. They unlock the other room, and they've got a squad of 4 men. The problem is if one of them dies, they all shrink down. Let's send it special delivery. This pain is going straight to the face. We'll see how they block, but we'll be ready to make an instant synthesizer. They block only one and take the hits from the other 2. That's a load of pain that's only going to get worse. They fire off a sweeper, but they forgot to attack with their men first. We could counter it, but they're at 2 life, and making a synthesizer copy at the end of their turn would give us lethality. All yours, my bro. They play out another flying chicken, but that's only 1 blocker, and we'll have 2 robot overlords. They know it's GG's and get out of town. This is Bean Eater. No, wait, it's Ben Bean Eater. Great name, bro. We get a 4-lander this time around, and we've got double stock up with a synthesizer. It's a sure way to have ammo for days. Keep. Is this another mono red? We'll have to make sure their cheeks are red. All of them. Every point could matter with the slow hand we have, so let's fight to prevent every damage. We drew a 3 steps ahead, and that will be our play on our next turn. This turn will be a synthesizer turn. On top we have a Seraph and a Battlefront. We'll keep them both and in that order. If the Seraph survives on board, we'll tear them a new one. They play out a Nemesis, the kind that screams. That's a 4 spot when they send it. Not bad, but not great for them either. They send it again. It's another 4 unless they have pump. It doesn't look right. They don't have any more plays? Anyways, let's make our instant synthesizer, and we can strike back. You can smell fear in that hesitation. On top, we have a stock up under the Battlefront. With 2 already in hand, we'll send the stock up on down to the bottom. We'll play out the Angel this turn. It's a pair of Robot Overlords more as well as life gain to make this game very difficult for them. They snipe our Angel, but we've still got lethality on board for our next turn. They'll have to play carefully, or have their life stomped out by Robot Overlords. All hail! In true mono-red fashion, they don't think, they only hit attack all. Let's block up their little guy. It's got menace, so we need both Robot Overlords to take it down. What now, bro? You got blockers to play out, right? They play out a Koth, and that's an effective way to take down one of our robot men, but it still leaves us 2 men with maybe more on the way depending on what we get with the Battlefront. We draw another Seraph, and that's our play. There's no way they can recover from this position. We'll be going up to 16 life, and they're going to 1. There's no need to hit Koth, we can ignore him completely.
We have the high ground.
They blast our angel out of the sky, but that doesn't change how things will end. It's smelling like GG's for Mono Red. And that, my friends, is another satisfied customer.